Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm going to be talking about my microblading experience, and since it's kind of story time, I am just kind of relaxing in my bed, so forgive me for not having a more better setup, but I just figured this was kind of girl chat time. And if you always wondered what it's like getting your eyebrows microbladed, the process and all that stuff, stay tuned. Also, I'm going to add my lip blush story so you guys can hear all about that. That's kind of a bonus story because that was an experience that I want to talk about. So eyebrow microblading or microshading are they're two different techniques, and actually there's several different techniques, but what I got done was microblading, and it's essentially this tool that they use where they cut strokes into your skin and deposit pigment in it, and it creates these feather-like strokes. So it's kind of like a tattoo, but it's not as permanent as a tattoo. It's semi-permanent. From my understanding, I was told that it could last 3 to 5 years, but lately the things that I've been reading, it's saying like 12 months and you need to get a touch-up. So I don't know, take with that what you will and talk to the person that's doing it first. I decided I wanted to get my eyebrows microbladed because when I was in high school, I actually wound up over plucking and then shaving my eyebrows off. And ever since then, I had a really hard time growing my eyebrows back. And I had like a thin line. I will try to insert a picture to show you what my eyebrows look like before. I don't have any product on my eyebrows now, so this is what they look like now. Now you can see like my eyebrows are here and they're thin, and then everything else is stuff that she drew on, if you can see. So right here she went up a little bit higher and it's like more of shaded, I feel like, but I mean I'm okay with that. I just, yeah, I don't know. I'm okay with it. I am just happy to have eyebrows, basically. The first thing I would tell you is to kind of do your research, you know, learn about the process and all of that before you go, but find somebody where you can like see their work on Instagram and really like make sure that they know what they're doing, because you know, it's an art, and I will say that not all artists are created equal. So just make sure that you have seen their work and you know exactly what you want, and bring in like a lot of pictures and stuff too. The first thing they should do is numb you with just like a topical stuff, like a lidocaine that they put over your eyebrows, and they put like some plastic wrap over, and you sit and wait for it to kind of kick in. Then for me, she started the process like 10 minutes later. And I would say the pain level was like between like around a 2, even with the numbing, because some of the numbing wore off and some of it didn't take, and so she had to stop and keep reapplying the numbing stuff. There were a few times when the pain level would spike to like a 5, but that was just because it wore off in those areas. Otherwise, it's just like it's just kind of a dull feeling, and then you like can hear the scratching, which is kind of weird. Like you kind of hear it in your head. I don't know, it's just a weird sound, almost like a crunching sound or something. I don't know. Anyways, that was something that I noted. The whole process literally took like maybe an hour. I know some people have said like, you know, it takes like a couple hours. She was really fast. She does like tons and tons of people all the time, so she knows what she's doing. So I forgot like one important thing. So before you even start, like after she numbs you, she measures everything. So she takes like a twine that has like powder on it, and she pulls it across and like up and then over and over and measures everything. And that's how she decides like according to your facial features and your symmetry of your face, how the eyebrow should look, right? And so that was like step 1. That was like super important. I didn't have to ask her to stop. I didn't need like any breaks or anything. It wasn't that bad at all. And then when we were done, she gave me the aftercare instructions, which is probably the most important part of microblading is the aftercare. The artist is going to give you their specific instructions of how they want you to care for your eyebrows afterwards. But typically, you don't want to get them wet like for the first couple days. You want to keep Aquaphor on them or whatever they recommend, but that's what my artist recommended for me is Aquaphor. They're gonna look crazy dark. They're gonna look so dark and you're gonna be like, what the heck? But I promise you that over the course of the week, they will start to scab up and those scabs will fall off. You don't want to pick, you don't want to scratch them. They get super itchy and you'll want to scratch them, but don't, because you want those scabs to fall off on their own, because then that's like where the healing is taking place, is under those scabs. So I don't want to wear makeup or anything like that for, I think it was like for the first week, which you won't need any eye makeup or any eyebrow makeup, obviously, because you got big, huge, dark caterpillars on your eyes, so you're cool. After that first week, I think like around day 5 or 6 is when the itching was like so unbearable, and so I would just like do this like to kind of help. Like I wouldn't scratch, but I would like poke with my nail just to kind of help alleviate some of that scratching, some of that itching feeling. So when the scabs do fall off, you'll notice that your eyebrows will start to lighten, and it will almost be too light where you're like, oh crap, am I losing pigment in some areas? But it's just like the skin regeneration process, and after like that first week, like into the second week, you'll notice that it'll start to darken up again. But you do have to go back at around the 6-week mark to get a touch-up, and that's when you'll really see the color, like, okay, like everything is kind of settling in and it's looking good. Some video of right after I had it done right here, so you guys can see what they looked like right after. And hey guys, I wanted to give you an update on my microbladed brows. It's been almost 24 hours and they look significantly darker, but that's totally normal. Would I recommend doing it? Absolutely. This was so worth it to me to be able to have eyebrows again and not feel stress every time I try to draw them on, knowing that I'm going to mess it up and have two completely unequal eyebrows. I know that they're not perfect, but that is not the artist's issue. Mine is just, you know, like where my hair is, like it goes here, and I wanted an arch, and so she put that arch there and the seam on this side, and I feel like this side just kind of took better than this side too. And I could fill it in because, you know, the blueprint is there, so I could fill it in or whatever if I wanted to. I just like the fact that I haven't had to, and so that's been super cool. So I was going to make a completely separate video on my lip shading, but I'm going to tack that story onto this video. And so if you are interested in that, keep watching. If not, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment with any question you have about the process if you're thinking about doing it. Okay, thanks guys. Okay, so my lip shading, my lips have always been super thin, and so I was considering getting lip injections, but my husband was really not crazy about me doing it, and so he was just afraid that I was going to get crazy out of control lips, which I'm okay with because I have always had super thin upper lip, right? Okay, so when I was getting my eyebrows done, the lady that did them suggested lip shading, and she's like, and it's basically microblading but for your lips, and so they like line them and then they fill them in with the color. Same idea as microblading, but I believe they use a different tool that's more like a tattoo pen than the feather strokes that they use on the eyebrows. Okay, so a picture here or a video here of what I looked like before, like as I was going into the procedure. Hey guys, so I am about to go in and get my lips shaded. So let me just say, the reason I did it is because I wanted more definition, and I thought that it maybe would make my lips look a little bit bigger. I made the same kind of prep. Once I got there, she put the numbing stuff on my lips, and I basically sat there and waited 10 minutes for it to kick in. Okay, so there was a little bit of a delay because like a couple people came in and she was like helping them, and so by the time she got to me, I think some of the numbing like had started to wear off. So when she started, it was really painful, and I was like, okay, I need more numbing. And so she stopped and put more numbing on and stuff, and we kept going. So also we picked the color together. So I wanted like a kind of a nude mauve color, and just something really subtle. I didn't want anything really dark. I just wanted something kind of subtle. Okay, so go back. So she starts, and it literally feels like this thing is like ripping into my skin, and it is really uncomfortable, and I am really like thinking, what have I gotten myself into? And so like I said, she kept having to stop and, you know, keep like re-numbing me and stuff, applying the numbing stuff. And I think she's getting a little irritated with me because I was like, oh, this like freaking hurts. And I kept tasting blood. And I was like, am I bleeding? And she's like, no, honey, it's fine. It's fine. It's totally normal. And I'm like, okay, well, I taste blood. And then, you know, she has to keep wiping it away. Well, it's like a pink pigment, or like a rose, like a dusty rose pigment. And so it's like just smearing all over my face, right? And so I like pull my mirror up and I'm like looking at my face, and it's crazy. And I will insert a picture here of what it looked like. Okay. So fast forward to we're done. It took like about, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes altogether for her to do both of my lips. And I could feel like they were just kind of numb and starting to get sore because the numbing stuff was wearing off, and just all of that trauma from the gun or whatever on my lips was just like taking its toll. And so I'll insert a video of what I looked like right after here. This is like 1 hour post procedure, so I will show you guys what it looks like tomorrow. But right now it hurts really bad. It feels like the worst sunburn ever, combined with like a bunch of needles. So then I go to bed that night, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I literally wake up and I'm like this. My lips were so swollen. I will insert a picture here. Okay. So it's the next morning, and my lips are so freaking swollen. Excuse the no makeup. I look like the freaking Joker and a Kardashian. I did not get injections. I didn't. This is just the shading. It's just my lips are so swollen. So I'm not gonna get injections because this is just crazy. Okay, I'll let you guys know what the swelling goes down. They were so swollen that I could like barely like talk or do anything, and they were sore. They weren't as sore as they were the night before, but they were just so swollen. So I went about my day, you know, and I was thinking, I really don't want to have to go back in 6 weeks and get the touch up, because I don't want to go through this again. This is like so not worth it. And so then the next day I start to feel like tingling on my upper lip right here, and that's where I get cold sores. And I'm like, no way, no way, no way. And she asked me if I was prone to cold sores, and I'm like, not really. I mean, I get them sometimes, but not like often, right? Over the course of like the next 24 or 48 hours, I wind up getting this massive cold sore, like the mother of all cold sores, the biggest one that I have ever had in my life. It took up like my entire lip. It was so disgusting and so awful, and I was in so much pain because it was just like it kept cracking, and it was horrible. So after like 10, 12 days, it finally subsided and my lips were back to normal. And basically what I have now, see how it's kind of like lined where you can kind of see, I don't have any lipstick on. This is just what it is. So I was supposed to go back and get a touch up, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna go back because I am gonna like go through this again and it's gonna be so painful and I'm probably gonna get another cold sore. So I haven't gone back. I wouldn't go back. So now I just have like this uneven color because I need to get it all filled in, but I'm not gonna do it. And so it's just kind of a bummer. Sorry, my son is playing a game. So I don't know how I feel about, like, I know for me, I would not go back and get it done again. And it has nothing to do with the artist. She was amazing. It was just too much trauma for my lips, and it just really induced that cold sore. And I don't ever want to experience another cold sore like that again. I could go to the doctor and get some Valtrex and stuff like that and do that for a week before, but again, it was so painful and it was just so not what I had expected, and the results were not what I was hoping for. I mean, maybe they would be if I went back and did it again and got the touch up, but just as they are right now, you know, obviously. And so, and it was expensive. It was really expensive, and so I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't recommend it. But that was my experience, and somebody else could have a way different and way better experience, you know? So anyways, if you guys have any questions on that, leave it in the comments below. And yeah, I know this video is different than I normally do. I just thought I would share with you that experience, and if you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comments. I'd be happy to answer anything. And I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.